Hi there, YouTubers. It's Terry here from Machine Mancave Talk. We're just on our way to Lance's place at the big shed, and we've got a few sprint cars and a bit of a chat happening there today. So we just want to say thanks to Lance and the fellas that are going to be there, and let's see how this pans out. It's the weather's pretty nice, and we're at, for those who don't know, we're at the foot of the Blue Mountains in Sydney and New South Wales for all our overseas viewers. Okay, thanks, and let's get into it. Well, here we are, Lance.
We're back.
We're back.
Again.
Part three.
Part three.
Part three. This is
You're making this a regular.
I know, this is becoming a bit of a habit. All the way from Brisbane again. You're the only customer I've got on the videos. But
well, mate, I've got that many.
What a team.
I've got that many of your shirts, I don't have to go to Lowe's anymore.
Yeah, that's it, eh?
Well, they're good value, mate.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Pretty good.
So what brings you to the big shed this time?
Again, you in the big shed, because I love Speedway and all you guys like Speedway, and I'm trying to help the vintage movement, even though I'm too far away.
No, you're not that far.
But, you know. Yeah.
So today...
So what are we doing today? We're
speak
to all the boys.
What we're going to do today is we've gathered what we call the Big Shed Vintage Sprint Car Demonstration Team, which consists of original cars.
That's it.
These are not replicas. Get that word? Remember the replica
The R
bit?
word, we're not allowed to mention
these are original.
Certain types get offended
with the big R.
Big R, yeah.
But these are original cars, and we've got the owners, the current day owner drivers with us today, who you're going to interview.
That's right.
And
along with your good self.
I'm not saying that much. You haven't got all day today. So we'll interview the current owners, and you'll get a bit of history on the cars.
That's right.
And how they got involved, and their reasons for joining the Vintage Sprintcar Association, and away we go.
If I fall over, you can sort of...
Oh, there's two wheels here, mate. You can
push me along.
You can just do it. It's your job.
Yeah. Well, I just want to start off by saying, well, thanks to Lance and the Big Shed and the boys in the background here for coming along and bringing the cars for this little video. We'll just thanks very much, and we'll just see where this all this ends.
See how it goes. Done.
Good.
Right.
So, are we going to introduce our first?
Well, what we'll do, we'll get Ian Banks over. Banks is a former racer at Parramatta City Raceway.
Yes.
And he can tell you a quite funny story how we went and picked this car up from Queensland.
All right. Good.
So Banksy, it's your turn to sit on the big tyre.
Come and sit on the big tyre with us. There you go. Good, Banksy, how are you? Good. Thanks for coming along and bringing the car and being a part of this madhouse.
Thanks for just highlighting the vintage sprint cars.
Oh, well, we try and do. I mean, unfortunately, we're in Queensland, so. But anyway, we get over that because we love coming here. So it's over to you. So how do we all? So I always ask, where did it all start? Where did the Speedway thing start? Which led you to? I know you race, but until pretty much now.
Well, my eldest brother was racing at the old Windsor circuit in stock cars.
Yes.
With guys like George Tatnell, Ray Oram and them. Yep. Then he moved to Victoria and he had sprint cars down there. Then I took up running fender benders and for a few years. And then I just went to...
So you have to cut him when Banks is going.
I stopped racing about 30 years ago, and I rang Lance one day. I said, I found a vintage sprint car. And he said, where? I said, in Queensland. And Lance's answer was, well, we're going to get it. I walked past my partner Sharon and said, I've brought a sprint car in Queensland. Her face dropped straight away. And I said, he said, yeah, right, And I went, well, okay, Lance and I are going on Saturday to pick it up, and we did. This is actually a Jeff and Gary White car that they ran in the 80s.
Gary White.
Yeah. The White family's still racing, their grandsons. And I brought this off Jeff White. I had to make a few modifications for me to fit in the seat because Jeff is knee-high to a grasshopper
really?
and weighs about 40 kilos wringing wet.
Yeah.
So unfortunately my stature is not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is a 1984 Gambler.
84, mid-84 or 84, yeah. Nice unit.
That's a very nice unit. Haven't done virtually anything to it since the day we bought it 3 years ago.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the way it works. It's a Gambler, it's an 84 Gambler.
Yep.
It's a 372 Gary White built motor,
Okay.
Chev motor.
Just a Chev, yeah.
Yeah, with
Cast iron or?
cast iron block with Hillborn injection
Yes.
on it.
Get up and go.
Yeah, she's got all the original bits on it. So it was done properly by them, and
Yeah.
just like a proper vintage car, you don't play with it. Once they've got it right, leave it alone. And I'm proud to.
You're not racing for sheep stations, are you?
No, we're only exhibitions.
Yes.
I get a phone call quite often from Jeff White in Queensland saying he's seen it on
Okay.
YouTube and other places,
Hopefully
and
you'll see this one.
most probably will. He'll let me know.
Looks like you can spread the word, and it's helping your club and the movement.
That's right.
You know, that's what it's all about.
It is. That's what it's all about. Vintage cars
Yeah.
are for guys
Yeah.
a little bit older and a little bit past the prime
That's
of
right.
racing.
Yeah.
Just have a bit of fun, let off a bit of steam. Don't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Bring the cars home straight.
Yep.
And give the crowd something to look at, a little bit of history.
I wish we had a bit more of this up in Queensland. We used to have the speed car spectacular every September. That's because of bureaucracy, but no longer runs. But well, we've got Berta, but yeah, I'd like to see these. I'd run with the speed car. Anyway, that's the way progress is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Jeff had actually run this at Burner
Yes.
a few times
Okay.
before he put it up for sale.
Yeah.
A lot of people commented, how did I get to buy it?
Yeah.
The old saying, right place, right time.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't haggle.
Yeah, okay. Oh, fair enough.
Quite happy for the price and quite happy for what we got.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
so that's just virtually how I got back into
Yeah.
going around in circles on the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the quote, you know, we aren't sitting in a rocking chair throwing $100 notes at each other anymore.
No, that's right.
These things,
It keeps you young too.
it does,
Right.
keeps you young and fit. And,
Yeah.
you know, try to, like I've just turned 70, so I'm
Wow.
pretty happy with that.
Looking good for 70.
Oh yeah,
Speedway keeps you young.
Speedway keeps you young,
And broke.
Speedway keeps you fit, and that does
Well,
keep you.
not as big as the big boys, but
No, oh, nowhere near it. You know, we can't afford to run
no, of course not.
their cars or stuff like that.
Can't
And
run for shoot stations or anything.
no. So,
no.
but that's about it. And as I said,
Yep.
very proud of this car. Very proud to represent the whites in Queensland.
Yeah,
You know, so yeah.
sure. Oh, well, that's about it then. You've pretty much covered just about everything, I think. Well, thanks for joining us here on Machine Mancave Talk.
Yep.
And hopefully this will get out to all over the world and help the vintage movement here in New South Wales.
Yeah, well, you know, the vintage movement, there's a few guys with a few cars hanging around, so
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
come and join us, have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm trying to get it so when we come down we can go and see it, but it just, the dates just don't seem to match up. We always say we should come back, but we should start. I'm just looking at my director over in the back. She's also the minister for finance and my camera assistant and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, we're a team, so yeah.
I mean, look, it's great to represent the team
Yeah.
as well. You guys do a great job getting us out there, getting the cars out
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
You know, yeah, and it's been a pleasure.
And a little sideline, I try and do a lot of merchandising, sort of shirts, mugs, and all that stuff. You know, to try and help you guys too, along with a few others. So, anyway, that's been, you know,
Yep.
it's been great to have a bit of a chat, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lance here to help us fill in the minor details on the cars. And this one here was built by,
Okay,
or
so
raced by?
what we've
I'm
got,
not real sure.
what we've got here is a Bobby Allen designed chassis, and this particular car was actually shipped to Australia but assembled in Australia. by a group of people, and I'll introduce you to the current owner, Mark Smith, who actually worked on this car back in 1990 with the Bobby Allen team. And Bobby was from Pennsylvania, or is from Pennsylvania, celebrated a birthday only this week, and raced successfully at Parramatta City Raceway and other parts of the country, in which Mark again can elaborate on.
Yes.
So what we'll do, we'll get Mark over and you can chat to Mark about that.
Come on over, Mark.
Come in, Mark.
Come sit in the hot seat. Don't be scared.
All right, I just sit down.
Take it easy and relax and just
I reckon you're up
talk whatever. So let's hear a bit more about your car, because I don't know. I've seen it, but that's about all.
All right, well, this is a fairly famous Chazzy, as Lance had mentioned. The Chazzy was built in Bobby Allen's workshop in Pennsylvania in 2 halves, with all the panels, all the middle pieces sent in the box. And it was shipped all over Australia. The Richard and Peter Craft put it on the top of their truck and they brought it home. And when it got to Australia, Billy Roberts and myself put it in and made a bit of a jig and started putting it all back together. And then the car eventually went to Terry Darville, and Terry Darville actually gave the car to my wife, Barbara Lee, because I wanted to get her to have a drive of a car, but it was difficult to borrow somebody's car.
That's right.
So he gave her the car with all my friends. I built it up with all the parts, and she gets out. She drives it more than what I do, because I get I grow horns and I try and break it. So it's just it's nicer for her to have a drive.
It's sort of, I can imagine.
But it's so all the
running gear and
the running gear in it. It's got a crate 350 Chevy. It's running a 650 Holly Carby. We don't want them to go really fast. We just want people to look at them.
And just try and enjoy for what it is.
That's it. We've got some late model parts on it, like front axles and diff and things like that, because the old parts are really hard to find.
Right. And nobody like me, I wouldn't know.
Well,
watching
people in the crowd, they don't.
That's right. They don't really care either.
That's it. So we've accumulated parts from all over the mates who've got it going, and that's a bit of the history on this car.
So how long? Because I did see it in stages of build. So how long ago would you sort of that off?
I would say I think we've had it for probably about 6 years, I think.
2 years.
So
I remember seeing it on through Lance.
I had it at home for 12 months. It was up here, but I had it at home accumulating parts. It only took me 3 hours to build the car. It doesn't take that long to build them if you have to. So it took me 3 hours to build it, and we took it out, had a first run in it, had a couple of teething problems. But all in all, it's been good. We've had some good runs. People up on the crowd, I think, have liked it.
Good on you. Jealous.
So I tend to put a couple of people in that have never had a driver's car.
Really? So you don't need a licence to run?
You do. You need to have a day licence for our club.
Okay, so you get.
And we're a club member. Not a racing licence, no. No, but if I have people that have never had a drive, I put a helmet on them and
They can have a drive one day.
they can have a try.
I would go silly. I mean, it'd be hard not to go silly, but I've seen it a bit. I know. Well, they reckon you can't do this. You've got to.
You've got to be easy. You've got to ease the throttle on and ease the throttle off. Otherwise,
which makes sense.
They get real unstable.
With the offset, the stag and the race too.
That's right. See, I've been around Speedway. I think Lance was kicking me out of Parramatta when I was 17.
Wow.
And,
he's a brute, isn't he?
Yeah, but I got him back. But in all those times, I've been crewing with the top teams.
So you've got a bit of knowledge.
And it's hard to explain to people that you can't drive one of these things in a car you drive on the road.
I've seen enough to. I've probably got a lot. I mean, you wouldn't be able to go flat tack straight away, but I've seen enough that if you go too quick, they can kick you,
you've just got to be easy with them. You've got to respect them.
That's right.
They'll bite you.
I'd be able to do a few slow laps. Just the same drizzle on, but anyway.
That's the idea of having a car like this. It doesn't go that fast. It's not
that'd be fast
the fastest one. But it still gives you the same feeling.
For sure.
Compared to the cars that we run today, this thing's like, you never come close to it. But
It's
it's
all
still
about
based
having
on the same sort of
Yeah,
principle.
and it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying, not racing to sheep station.
Well, that's right.
You know, and you've got to pay the bills.
Exactly.
You fence it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
that's for sure. Yeah, so that's a bit of history on this car.
Yeah, that's good, mate.
Yeah, it's good to see them out there now. So.
Yeah, well, that's it. Hopefully with the video and all that, we can make it, you know, spread far and wide, you know, with international audiences, I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, the channel's sort of been stalled for a few years because of world events and that, and yeah, so I come all the way 12 hours to come and do some video.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark, I'll let you go.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Thanks very much for being brave and coming and facing
No worries.
video. It's not hard, just be yourself, mate. There's no formalities here.
I can get all the mates laughing at us now.
Yeah, probably jealous, being jealous. Right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch up soon.
No worries. Thanks,
Thank you. Here's Lance.
Okay, so what we've got here is a Robbie Far driven car, and we lucked into this car through Colin Farr, who was in the stage of restoring the vehicle back to its original glory. And Colin had the car, would you believe, in a garage off the back of his house, and it was basically a rolling chassis, no engine, and the whole panels were all painted grey, and no top wing. The actual top wing alone has a story to it, in which Mark helped us obtain, and the car is owned by a young guy, Brett Bryan, who is I'm not going to say he's like a son to me now because he's getting too old and cranky, but
Learning off you as he learns.
he's learning very quickly. But Robbie was Brett's racing hero back in the day, again from Parramatta City Raceway. Now this is just one of the dummy checks that David Lander had signed for one win that Robbie had. Now again, like the big R, the replica deal, the car is not advertising cigarettes. It represents the Peter Jackson Nationals, a series that David Lander ran at Parramatta City Raceway.
Yep.
But this car did win a lot of big events around the country. So what we'll do, we'll introduce Brett to you, and Brett can explain what he's learnt about the car, the history that he knows of the car. And when we picked the car up off Colin was very gracious in giving to Brett all of the memorabilia that came from Robbie, along with the car. I mean, the check, there were shirts, there were photos, and it was a very, very moving moment in Colin's front yard.
Wow.
When we were loading up the car on the trailer. So what we'll do, we'll get Bretto over, and he can explain a bit more to you.
Yeah, because I know nothing and
And
you
I
guys
know
it all.
and I know nothing as well. Bretto,
Come and join us. Sit in the hot seat, Brett. Don't be nervous. Thanks for joining us, Brett. Brett's the owner of the beautiful ex-Robbie Far, Peter Jackson sprint car. We know Robbie Far, don't we?
We do.
Cameraman at the back there.
Yeah.
We drink coffee at Robbie's shop.
yeah, right.
Yes, we do. Yes.
It's all about the car at the moment.
Yes, yeah.
So fire away, Brett. You're just filling all the gaps.
Yeah, well,
Thanks
so
for joining us.
no, thanks for having me. So I guess to start with, yeah, Lance is just I guess to elaborate on Lance and I's story first. Lance and I were neighbours when I was young, so 2 or 3 years old. Lance had a little Honda Odyssey and stuff like that, and I used to just hang out in his shed. So back before the big shed, there was another shed just around the corner here, actually. And my mum and dad actually cut a hole in the fence so I could get to Lance's house. I actually drowned in Lance's pool once, and he saved me. And so yeah, there's a bit of a backstory. Yeah, well, yeah.
He's never let you forget it.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. So I guess that's a bit of a story with Lance and I, and we sort of went our separate ways when I was growing up, and then we
women.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and anyway, we reunited over Facebook, and that was probably 5 or 6, 7 years ago, something like that. And we've almost been sort of inseparable since, which goes back to the days when I was a young kid.
Wow,
you know?
what a story.
So yeah, he's the one responsible for me getting into sprint cars. I went to a few events when I was younger with my dad, and Lance was always working at Parramatta, so I was sort of always hanging around, but not really into it as much as what many other people would have been. But yeah, so Lance is responsible for that, and I think in one of the last episodes he showed you a car that I was sort of responsible for him buying, which was the car he was building, and out of that came this. This was a story, and Lance showed me a photo one day. I was sitting in Colin's shed, and he said, "I remember that car. I really want it." So Lance,
so did he still have the wall paint on it, or
no?
I mean, he's probably redid it or whatever. I saw it in different stages of build.
So Lance is right. When we bought it, the chassis had been powder coated. It had a few bits and pieces. It was body panels. Body panels were undercoated. But there wasn't much more than that. There was a steering box and a rear end in it. Other than that, that was pretty much it. So Mark actually did all the paint work on it.
He's pretty handy like that.
He is, he did me a big solid with the paint work,
not just the car but other things.
Yeah, did me a big solid on that, and another fella called Ian Sayers, whose daughter used to race at Parramatta. Ian did the majority of the mechanical work, and it was a labour of love for him. He was in his shed for a long time through COVID and things like that. He did a lot of work, so I'm very grateful to him as well.
So it's always a background story, isn't it? There's always people in the background.
Yeah. Another speedway guy, Robbie Far, he did all the graphics on it.
Okay, yep.
So yeah, that's the story of that. It's right on 12 months old since we got on the track the first time. So
I saw that on Facebook the other week.
Yeah.
Congratulations, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. We've done 5, 6, maybe 7 events with it. So I think it was good on the track.
I've seen you actually driving it.
Yeah, okay.
As a month that I did.
Yeah.
Was you driving the car?
Yeah.
Played a photo, you know.
Yeah. Have a coffee out of one of those mugs every morning.
So tell us a bit about the running gear and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so at the moment it's got a pretty standard cast iron, small block Chev. It's carburetted. We're just playing around with some different fuels at the moment, so we're trying to get it to run on E85. The car is outperforming the motor at this point, so I need to sort of start thinking about other things. When we put it together, I was a bit of a novice. And,
of course.
You know, so
we've got to take baby steps.
So at the moment it's pushing a lot of oil out through the heads and stuff like that. So it's we need to look after it a little bit. So I don't know. There's some things in the pipeline possibly.
Is it tight? Like a little bit.
Probably does. Yeah. I think the engine came out of a Camaro.
Okay.
I bought it off a bloke during COVID.
Okay.
I think it doesn't have my son. I think it might have a little.
So what's it pretty standard? Yes.
Yeah, it might have a little can or something. We haven't opened it. Yeah, it's good. It's good for me.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to, as I keep saying, don't want to race for cheap stage, you know.
No.
You've got to pay the bills.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's actually just
fun,
pretty good because Mark and I are pretty even on the track, so it's challenging between Mark and I, which is pretty cool.
So how many cars does your race, like if there's 10 cars, you all can go on the track, or they all take it in turns?
I think it depends on the track and how busy we are. I think the most we've done on tracks maybe 6 or 7. So yeah, there are demonstrations. I mean, a bunch of blokes on the track that will have a go. In respect to one another. So, it's good. It's a good group of guys. And women.
Yeah. The girls have a drive too. I do. About time I get my camera lady to give her a go. Can I drive one of these?
Sure.
That's a yes to me, isn't it? That was a yes, wasn't it?
It was a yes, yeah. Be careful what you say around here, Lance. Things tends to make things happen.
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's good. Thanks for joining us.
No, thank you.
And Brett, and just
no, thank you. And
thanks for jumping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, no, all good.
I mean, it's all relaxed around here, so
We're all a family around here.
Yeah.
And the Speedway family, 90% of them are all good people, you know.
They are. there've been plenty that have helped me out, you know, and they don't even know me.
Us out coming in today. And, so,
Well, even the story that Lance said about Colin. You know, Colin didn't know me from a bar soap.
yes.
The lengths that he went to help me, and you know, Mark and Ian and Lance and all the other boys that are hanging around. You know, it's 3 or 4 years ago they didn't even know me. So, you know, the amount of work and the amount of help and the amount of camaraderie.
Part of the concrete when I first saw the car and saw you, and then because I follow Lance stuff pretty regular and that, and you'll know what pops up. Yeah. Brett's been around a while, but
no, very much a newbie.
Late starter too.
Yeah, very much a newbie. Yeah.
So I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere. Yeah, just wish I keep saying I wish we were closer to. It'd be a nice little to be a part of it. You know? With the video, we're trying to get the word out there again, and
yeah. I think the Vintage Club's a good little community. People, you know, they all have the same common interests, and they all help each other out. Stuff goes around, so that keeps a smile on your face. It's pretty cool. So.
Right, Brett, well, we'll wind that one up for you, and we'll get you off the hook. And thanks very much for joining us. Shame the cable, always get that good stuff. Still, don't do enough of this stuff. But thanks for joining us, and hang around, and Lance is going to bring out the beers later. So.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Right, Brett, no worries. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
So there's one funny thing that comes to mind, Terry, with this car when we were having the build.
Yeah.
Now, as Brett said, in our club, which consists of 72 members these days, we all give each other a hand.
Yep.
And when we were putting the car together, we needed a top wing.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at this wing closely, it's brand new.
Wow.
I mean brand new. Now, a top wing these days can cost up to $2,000.
Wow.
But that's not what we're about.
Yep.
We try and save each other money.
Yeah.
So a good friend of ours, a former racer, and his daughter's half car's on the back of the big shed. I think you've seen the half car.
Yes.
Had a top wing to give to Brett
Oh, okay.
for $600.
Bargain.
$600. But there was a proviso.
Oh.
We had to get it from his house. No problem, I said. He lives 5 minutes from Mark. Mark, you interviewed with the Bobby Allen car.
That's it. Yep.
I rang Mark. Mark, can you do Brett a favour? Adrian Gulliford, Adrian, if you're watching, donated this wing for $600.
Wow.
Mark rang me 2 days later and he said, thanks, mate. You didn't tell me I had to get it out of his lounge room.
Oh, wow.
So, anyway, Mark, within his wisdom and his carpentry skills, brought the wing up 2 days later. $600.
With half the
Adrian,
house missing.
thank you so much for the wing.
Wow, what a story.
But yeah,
That's
I think
it.
Brett's the only guy running around in our club with a brand new
Brand new wing.
top wing. But Brett explained everything else about the car.
Yeah, pretty much, I think.
We'll move on to Mark, onto the Allen car.
Yep, I'll just get...
And but everything else, like Brett was saying, we got a lot of other people that help with shocks and bars,
Yeah,
steering arms,
it's good.
bits and pieces. Some donate,
Yep.
some sell at cost. Some want to sell and make $1. They're the people we try and avoid now.
Yeah, well, it's all
Devil Racewear in Tasmania, full bore race gear.
with the belts.
They've done a deal with our club.
So that's a nice little plug for them.
That's well.
And I don't mind. I don't.
Amy,
That's good.
Amy down at Devil Racewear do a good deal with our club members for safety equipment and apparel.
Robbie Far. Hope Robbie Far sees this.
Oh, We'll ensure that.
We used to drink coffee at his shop. I'm not sure if he's still there anymore. I haven't been up there for a couple
The
of
Far
years.
family are very good supporters of our club.
That's good.
Now we look up here, you'll see, and we do have an oil sponsor, Green Goanna. Adrian.
There you go. Green Goanna. There you go. It's on our channel.
Adrian Dellis is a Shell oil distributor, and Adrian is a very good supporter of our
So if anybody,
demonstration team.
anybody can give us a bit of contra, we can. I'm being a bit cheeky, aren't
Angelo looks after us very well.
I? That's good.
So back onto Mark's car, the Bobby Allen car. As you can see, a lot of his gear on this car is original,
Yep.
and like Mark explained how he put the car together with Billy Roberts, and you know, on this wing you can see there's a lot of original sponsors, you know, Carrera Shocks from Georgia in the States, but again, Angelo appears.
Yes.
Goodyear tyres, well, you know, they were the tyre back in the day, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Weld wheels. CRC, very big in New Zealand.
Was Alan Moffat the tyre guy back in this era? Or was I know
well,
in the 70s, wasn't he?
Well, a lot of the guys used to get them from Frank Maddich, the
Oh,
Goodyear
yeah.
tyres, especially the slicks
pavement,
that
yeah.
they ran at Liverpool.
Because they were ex-Formula 5000, weren't
Correct,
they?
that's correct. So DNF Racing Products were the wing manufacturers back in the day.
Lay on the inside there.
So I dare say this was a DNF wing.
Very hard to see in the glare. Just, I don't know. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
You've got now Motor Radco down at Granville here in Sydney. You've got Paul Sturton, who is involved these days with the 410 sprint cars.
Yep.
Paul does a lot of work with the vintage guys, and he's a very, very good supporter of our members and our club, and we can't thank Paul enough
Yep.
for any radiator or cooling system work that we need doing.
Fair enough.
Centerline Wheels, America.
That's right.
Auto Light Plugs, America. Well, we all know that symbol for Scotty
Yes.
Darley.
Yep.
Valvoline, of
On
course,
there.
good supporter.
Scotty Darley. Yep.
So again, you know, it's
Yeah, mobile billboard, eh?
well, that's what they were called back in the day.
Yeah. That's it.
Tums. A lot of people do not know what Tums represents.
Okay.
It's an American brand of lolly, if you want to call it,
Well,
or a tablet.
what do they call them over there? Well, not
For
sweets.
upset stomach,
Oh, okay. Oh,
for
it's a
your
different-
tummy.
Oh, it's a different kind of lolly.
It's a different kind of lolly.
Hopefully this will get to America.
We'll ensure that. So over here, Banksy's car is all original hand paint, hand sign written as we picked it up from Jeff White. Brisbane Foundry, of course, been around a long time in
Yes.
Queensland.
Yep.
Very big supporter of Speedway in general in Queensland, whether it be speed cars, sprint cars, Speedway in general.
Yep.
And that's exactly how we picked the car up from Jeff White's.
Wow.
And again, you'll see Made at Radco.
Back in our neck of the woods.
Big shed team.
Oh yeah. Big shed, that's where we are today.
And, you know, this is a very, very good car when it's on track. Look, they're all good cars. They're
Yeah.
all great
Oh,
cars.
yeah.
All great cars. And that's what we do. We preserve the past
That's it.
and the roar of these engines, although they do have mufflers. They're very, very beautiful to listen to.
Not much room in there for a big unit like me. I'd still squeeze myself
We'd get you
there.
in. We'd get you in.
That's good, Lance. Let's quickly go around here, I think.
Now, Blue Mountains represents Blue Mountains car wreckers who have come on board with Ian, but also they've come on board with Cullenbullen Raceway by donating a push car,
Oh, really?
and that has helped our club out immensely.
Yep.
Not only our club, but other clubs that need a push vehicle up at Cullenbullen.
It's all about helping each other, isn't it?
It's all about helping each other. That's what it's all about.
That's very good. And if I can help you out, we will. Hopefully this video will get a few of the natives chatting. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for the walk around the cars, Lance.
Well, once again, Terry, I'd like to thank you and Lynn and the team from
Queensland.
your industry,
Yeah.
and I hope that the general public enjoy what we can bring
Yeah.
to you and what we can bring to the Speedway community.
That's right. It's all about helping each other.
And hopefully we'll do another episode when you venture down south of the border.
Well, we're kind of half thinking mid-year, but we'll see how we go.
We've already got another special place lined up for you, and it's not the big shed.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
No problem at all.
Thanks very much, Lance, for your time, and it's been a pleasure to be here, and I don't want to leave now.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lance.
Okay,
Thank you. Oh, what a great day we had at the big shed. Thanks to Lance Wilson for having us along. It was great to meet the three boys who went to all the trouble of bringing along their sprint cars. First fellow we met was Ian Banksy Banks. He brought along his white family number 76 Chevy sprint car. He used to race in Brisbane back in the day. Mark Smith, well, he brought along the Bobby Allen number 1A. That's a nice little car. It's got a bit of history behind it. And Brett Bryan, who can forget the Peter Jackson number 3 for Far family, was formerly the Far family car. All the boys were sharing all their stories about how they got into Speedway and how they bought the cars. That was really interesting. Don't forget, if you got any inquiries about the Vintage Sprintcar Association of Australia, I'll drop the details down below and you can get in contact with them if you want to support them, or if you've got a car that you want to race in a track near you. Well, I hope you enjoyed our video, and please check out others as well. I hope to see you on the next one. And it's thanks a lot, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and tell all your friends. Thank you.